Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, January 14th. It is 6:22 right now. We got market opening up in about 8 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Looks like people are still making their way in. So we got market opening up shortly in about 8 minutes. If you guys are looking to take a breakout for the day, it's going to be against momentum. You guys can see the probabilities down here. Has a 9% max equity drawdown, probability of 70% either direction, and a prop factor of 3.263. So before we get started, guys, just another reminder. I am registered with the CFTC and NFA as a professional trader, commodity trading advisor. Futures trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. You can lose more than your initial investment. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This stream is for informational and educational purposes only. Nothing shown or discussed is a solicitation to buy or sell any futures contract or to participate in any trading program. I may hold positions in the market discussed. My views may change based on any time at any time based on the market conditions, and if any hypothetical or backtested results appear during the stream, they have significant limitations and do not represent actual trading. So, with that said, guys, let's get started. Um, so yesterday I was reviewing the live session, guys. I actually missed an MPSV2. I don't know if anybody caught that, but it happened like really late in the session. I was already playing with a chop bot by that point, and yeah, unfortunately I missed it. But I think some of you guys did catch it because some of you guys did message me about it. But yeah, it was like right over it was right here. It was at like right towards the end at like 6:40 or 7:46 or 7:47. Yes, like right here we had a higher high sell signal. This candle broke and closed past momentum. We had lower lows, but they were like way down here. This was the MPSV2. I totally missed it. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but it was right here and it went straight to target. So I think for today, I'm not really going to go to the chop bot at all. If you guys want to use a chop bot, I mean, feel free to use it on the other end, but I'm going to be focused really on my trades because this here, this could have been a really good trade and I totally missed it. So I'm going to stick to, just my analysis until about 8 o'clock. And then, I'll probably just run the chop bot if I do have if my trade comes before then, I'll run the chop bot. But if not, I'll probably just stick on my own charts here to kind of just look for my entries. Um, Looking over here at the algo entries for the day, we have the first entry at 6:43 for a 60/30, and then we have the first entry for 40/20 at 6:37. So those are going to be the algo entries for today. Looks like, yeah, the first one's going to be 40/20, 6:37 for a sell, and we'll kind of see what happens there as price moves along for the 60/30. But all right, guys, looks like we're good. So just also just a word of caution, guys. So I've been having some connection issues today. I don't know if it's with my internet. I don't know if it's with Zoom. There's some sort of connection issues happening here. So I might get disconnected from this live session. I'll try to get back on. But if I do get disconnected, just be aware that, there's something up with the connection right now. I don't think it's my internet. I think it might be Zoom. There might be some network issues, because it was hard for me to get on this session right now. But yeah, if anything, you might see my camera disconnect, maybe my audio. My screen share will probably still be here. But if I ever get disconnected, I'll probably just try to get back on. And then if I can't get back on through video or audio, I'll just type up here and I'll just kind of tell you guys that connection issue or something like that, right? So, all right, guys, let's do this here so far. Morning, Ben. Morning, George. Paul's asking what website do you use for high impact news? I use my FX book and I use Forex Factory as a secondary. So here, Paul, I'll respond to you. I don't even know how to respond to you, but I'll just put it in the group chat. There you go. My FX book. See who else is here so far. Morning, Steven. Morning, Mastige. Welcome back. So, guys, just a heads up. I know we were like wondering where Mastige was yesterday. Mastige is not going to be here on Tuesdays moving forward. He's busy during that time period, which is fine. Um, but yeah, just in case you guys are curious, he's just not going to be here on Tuesdays. Steven's asking what direction to break out. It's probably going to be for a buy. If we get a buy signal here, then it's going to be for a sell, Steven. So right now it's a buy, but if there's a buy signal that comes up before market open, then it's going to be a sell. I'll try to keep you updated as we go along. Yeah, Mesisha, the chop bot is not even good during the first couple hours. Best time is later in the session, yeah, 9 to 12 PT. Yeah, I agree with you. It's when the market's a lot more choppier, so better to play with it later. But all right, guys. Morning, Nick. Morning, Karen. Morning, Lila. Phalanges, you got a flickering, so I wouldn't trust it. Careful, Steven. Yeah, so there's a flickering momentum right there for a buy. It's a little tricky, like, whenever we get those flickering momentums. So you guys can see over here from my alert logs, I mentioned this yesterday. I changed it to where it tells me which direction the flickering momentum is coming, so we know exactly what to look for. But yeah, there's a flickering momentum right there for a buy. So if this here closes, the breakout's technically supposed to be a sell. It's going to be risky, just like Solange mentioned. But you got to wait for this candle here to close. Once this candle closes, you'll know the direction. I'm not taking the breakout on open, but if you guys want to take it, again, just a reminder. So guys, also another reminder. So I did get an email from the regulators. Basically, they want me to take down all the videos on the YouTube. I try to keep them on as long as I could. Um, Yeah, so I have about like 2,000 videos, 2,000 live trading sessions here. If you guys still want to come on these live sessions, they're basically telling me that I can only do it in private. But if you guys still want to be on these live sessions, I'll still come live. But make sure that you guys are subscribed and turn notifications on. So when you go to the YouTube channel, just go, there's going to be a button right here that says subscribe and turn on notifications. If you guys turn that on, every time I go live in the morning, you'll get an email from YouTube saying that I'm going live and you can join the live sessions. So I gotta I'm gonna have to take down all of my videos here. If you guys are part of, or you guys have access to it, it'll be unlisted, so it'll still be there, but the general public just can't find it. So Steven, if you're looking to take the breakout, it's going to be a sell. I mean, you want to be careful with the entry, but if you're really wanting to take it, it's going to be a sell there. Yeah, Masisha Dem, I'm glad I trained the bot on all your strats before YouTube was taken down. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of crazy. Well, I mean, it does suck that, take all this stuff down. All right, so price is spiking up right here. Ideally, we would have wanted to take the buy here, but like I said, because the buy signal came up right here at 628 and we had the flickering momentum, it was a tricky move, right? Ideally, the buy here would have been the ideal move because we have all of this liquidity kind of hanging out over here, right? So the buy here would have been the direction that I personally would have wanted to go for. There was a lot of news today. So ironically, like we are having a big spike right here, but at 5:30 we had a lot of news today actually. We had PPI, producer price index, retail sales. I mean, all this stuff right here, right? Whenever you have news like this pre-market, the breakout is usually going to be extremely tricky because I mean the news here was all positive. So I would have figured price would have spiked up like it did, but I mean, yeah, obviously it did. And it obviously didn't go with momentum. So I don't know if you decided to get into that, Stephen. I mean, obviously, it looks like a lot of people here warned you about it being risky, and they decided not to take it. So I don't know if you listened to them or if you decided to just take it anyways. Um, I mean, it is what it is, right? You guys took it or didn't take it. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's one trade, so it could have went either way. It could have went in your favor. It could have went super against you. But like I said, because we had news today, that's like one of the biggest factors that I would take into consideration because it's obvious, right? It's just the obviousness of it. So anyways, let me go and draw some structure here. So I started doing this yesterday because I wanted to be able to see where structure is sitting for my MPS V2s. So we got some structure kind of all over the place right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess. So we got some structure up here. Until we get a new higher high, this is kind of just going to be the structure for right now. It's just going to be I mean, it shouldn't really be this wide, but I'll keep it up here just in case so we can kind of have an idea if price comes back down. If price comes back down, I'll be looking for an MPS V2 back to the downside, but we'll uh we'll see. Anyways, all right, let's see what we got here. Hey, what's up, Brock? Yeah, Brock set up with your sell analysis. Solange said the edge is the edge. Pre-wacky Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, whenever there's high impact news like that, guys, so there's a couple news events that you guys always want to be careful for. It's going to be CPI, PPI, FOMC, and NFP. Or NFP is going to be first because it's the first week of the month. So in this order, you always want to be careful for the pre-market to market open move. Uh, Extreme caution. I don't know if anybody else's trading view is like really laggy, guys. Mine's like super laggy. I don't. Let me see if I could refresh it if it'll fix it. But it's been really laggy since yesterday. I might have to just reset my computer. This might be the problem with. I think this is why I'm having the connection and you see, I can see it's so slow. The network issue. I think it's because I need to reset either my computer or I got to reset some. I haven't turned off my computer in like maybe a month or 2 months. So you guys can see I just refreshed my trading view and it's not even loading up. So again, if we have issues with the connection, guys, just keep in mind that I'm just having some connection issues today. I don't know what's up with this. Okay, let's just go to this chart for right now. Yeah. So Masij said his is fine. I think it's just I got to reset my computer, but we're already in this live session, so I can't reset it now. I should have done this before, but it's okay. Yeah, I think I just haven't reset my computer in so long that again, right here, it didn't load up. Um, it's weird because it's just this tab. It's the algo tab. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna type this up. I feel like it's lagging my thing even more. But anyways, like I mentioned, so the extreme caution days that you guys want to take are going to be NFP, which is the first week of the month. The second week of the month is going to be typically CPI, PPI, which is this week. Third week is going to be FOMC, and then the fourth week, sometimes we have like Michigan consumer sentiment, stuff like that. But those are basically the main, or yeah, the main four news days that you want to be very, very careful pre-market into market open because you're going to get a lot of manipulation like this. So, all right, we have price coming back down right here. We have a pending sell momentum as price starts to kind of trigger to the downside. If the sell momentum does come down, we'll be looking for possible MPSV2. The problem here is that we do have some sessions right here, so it's red flags obviously, but we'll just kind of follow through see if anything comes up. For the 40/20, we do have an entry coming up shortly as well, 637. So 637 for a sell. We'll see if this momentum signal closes. It'd be a possible entry. If it doesn't, then obviously no entry for that one. That's how long you said a month is crazy. Yeah, I just never turn off my computer. I put it to sleep like pretty much every day. I never shut it down. I should be shutting it down at least every couple days or at least weekly, you know. That'll probably make the most sense. I just always forget, and I don't like shutting down my computer because I have so much stuff open. Even though I know where it's at and I know how to reopen it, it's just I'm just lazy. Honestly, I'm too lazy to kind of remember what my workspace is and stuff like that. Anyways, no sell signal here, guys. So there's going to be a no entry here for the 40/20. I'm going to try to follow this as we go. If you guys have the spreadsheet open, I'm updating it as we go. So 637, no entry for 40/20. The next one's going to be 643 for the 60/30. It's going to be for a buy. So, I mean, it might come up, might not. Who knows? If this here pushes through, which it just did, okay, this zone here is no longer valid. So I'm just got to delete that right now because it's no longer valid and it has not been established. So now we'll see what we got here. All right, we got a new higher high right here. Let's see. Rev said his ninja is two candles behind. LO got an indicator that is a resource hog on open. Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, so that's also my thing too. I think I have too many tabs open as well. I have like three algo tabs. I got It's just a lot of stuff here that's open. I probably should close one of them because they do pull a lot of resource, just like what Rev said. But the thing is, it's just this tab that's kind of laggy. The My normal one over here is actually pretty okay. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? So we had a sell momentum come up right here at 635, guys. That is pending. So if that's the case, I mean, we'll see here if it comes back down lower. But all right, we have a new higher high right here. It's not established yet, but not established, but we'll have it there. Time being. I'll try to market structures like on both ends so we can kind of see where it's going for the most part. All right. So we got a lot of volatility here. It's really like a huge, huge spikes back and forth. The ATR is currently at 40 right now. So as you guys can see, I mean, you get stopped out either direction. You can really get messed up either way here. Because you can be taking the buys here and chasing it up, or you can be chasing the sells. Price spikes right back up. Price pushes up again, spikes right back down. It's a little bit of a mess. Definitely a little bit of a mess here. Pending sell signal right there. So again, we have the 643 entry for 6030. I don't know if that's going to come in. The 643 actually aligns with the 4020. So 4020 and 630, the 4020 and 6030 have a possible opportunity at um 642. I don't know if it's going to come up because we have these pending sell momentums, but we'll follow and we'll kind of see if it ends up coming up here. There's still no sell signal here, which is closed, so I'm kind of just, play by ear. We got the sell signal right there currently pending again. The same sell momentum that we got right here. One more right here at 640. The alert should come up shortly. Alert's kind of laggy, huh? The alert. So we see the pending momentum here, but I haven't gotten the alert yet. So like I said, I don't know what's up with my trading view. It's a little laggy today. There we go. So the time is right. The timestamp is just it didn't really come up until like seconds later. Okay, I think after this live session, I'm gonna have to just shut down everything, just reset my computer. I know there's an update with Mac. Maybe I have to do that. I don't know. There's a something. Something's got to be done. Anyways, looking over here, the 643 is going to be a no entry, guys, because we do have those pending momentums coming up. So no entry for 643. Stay as active on here as possible to remember to follow along with it. We have a possible 644 entry for 4020 for a buy, so we'll kind of see if that there ends up coming up. So guys, just another reminder, if you guys are on the YouTube and you guys want to continue sitting on these live sessions, just make sure to go to the YouTube channel. So just click on my profile, take it a little second, go to my profile right here, click on subscribe and turn on notifications. There's gonna be a button right here. The reason why I'm saying that is because the regulators have reached out to me. I have to take down all of my YouTube videos. They'll still be available to people who have had access to it in the past. If you guys want, so they're still going to be up, but the general public can't find them. So like basically, if you go to my YouTube channel, right now I have 2,100 live trading sessions, right? It's a lot of sessions. So basically all these videos are not going to show up to the public. It's just going to be blank. But if you guys do have access to everything, there'll still be like playlists like this where all my videos, or not that one, but there's gonna be a playlist for the channel and then it'll have all the videos there, but you have to have access to the Discord to get to that. So just make sure I'm gonna post it in the Discord, guys. I'll post another update over here, like under the videos with all of I'll probably create another playlist here with just all the videos. But Yeah, if you guys are on YouTube, unfortunately, the regulators don't want me sharing my strategies with the public as I manage a hedge fund. So I just got to take everything down. They're basically telling me to take everything, every single video I put up down. Um, and I can still go live, but it has to be privately. So yeah, if you guys go to the YouTube channel, click on subscribe, turn notifications. YouTube will email you every morning when I go live. They'll be like, "Hey, Sean's live. Here's a link." Because I'll still go live. It's just gonna be unlisted. So general public can't find it. Harmony said, "Can you wait for today to take it down so that I can get the video?" Harmony, so it won't happen today, but by the end of this week, it'll happen. So yeah, it'll still be here. What I'd recommend is, scroll down and make sure that you get on the Discord. If you're not on the Discord, guys, get on the Discord because I'm still gonna post everything on the Discord. It's just not gonna be available to like the general. Like people can't search the videos up on YouTube. That's mainly what they don't want. But if you guys are on the Discord, it's fine because I can post the videos on the Discord. So, Harmony, yeah, if you're on the Discord, just go over here to live trading sessions. The link will be posted here already. So it's posted under announcements, live trading sessions, and team chat. So if you want to watch the replay, it'll be there. Or you can always just save this link to this stream, and then even if it's unlisted, you could rewatch it later in the future. All right, guys. So we have a sell signal here, which just closed. Like I said, we had no entry for 643. For 644, there was an entry for a buy. It's going to be a no entry, of course. 647, we have another one coming up. It's for a sell, actually. So this one might be coming up. We'll be following it. The 647 4020 has a 9% max equity drawdown, 50% overall profitability and probability, 25% for buys, 66% for sells, weighted average of 63, profit factor of 2.48. So the 647 entry is going to be for a sell because the probabilities are higher on the sell side. It's about a little over 66%. So we'll be looking for that there if it ends up coming up. I'm also going to be looking for a possible MPSV2 entry here. So we do have a higher high right there, which is established. Or not established, but it's there. We have a higher high right there. We have a sell signal. What I'm looking for is for price to push down, retrace, continue down lower. The only issue here that I'm seeing is that we have a lower low right here. So this is going to be a red flag, of course. I don't think we're going to have an entry here. We also have two sessions right here, right? We have the New York low and we have the Asia low. So yeah, I'm not expecting this to be an entry, unfortunately. I mean, I'll follow it, but it's not looking like it's going to be an entry here for the obvious reasons because we're currently at this lower low. Unless price breaks past it, so what I'm going to be looking for here, guys, is I'm going to be looking for price to kind of break past this area and then maybe come down from here. We have this, and okay, perfect. I might be able to get into an MPSV2 down there because there's not going to be any lower lows, right? I need his lower lows to get invalidated, basically. Otherwise, it's going to act as a support level or a demand level. I mean, whatever you want to call it. Some of you guys trade supply and demand, some of you guys trade support and resistance. Same thing. It's the same thing. Okay. So I know a lot of you guys, it's really important that you guys call it something specific, but supply and demand, support resistance, it's basically the same thing. It's just some zones are just identified more important, right? Like supply and demand are just support and resistances, but they're on the far end. So like people compare them as like, apples to oranges, but realistically, it's just a more important support zone. Like you can have a bunch of supports here, but then there's only going to be one or two that are considered demand because they're going to be identified as stronger or prices likely to bounce from and stuff like that. So just try not to overcomplicate it. I know a lot of people like to overcomplicate trading. Um, Structure is structure, guys. That's what I was trying to get across to you guys. Like structure is structure, whether it's support, whether it's demand, whether it's resistance, whether it's supply. I mean, whatever you guys want to call it, it's the same shit. It's literally the same thing. It's just they're identified differently based on their importance. It's funny. Like I think Paul, you asked you asked the bot about fair value gaps, and they got pretty pissed. Um, because it's the truth. Like fair value gaps, like again, they're just imbalances, right? And they're not always going to be strong. Like I feel like there's a big emphasis on fair value gaps, but There's a ton of fair. If I turn on the, so let's turn on the liquidity indicator here. You guys will see there's a ton of fair value gaps here, right? They're not all important. Like this one could be very like mediocre, right? The price can just blast right through it. So that's the thing with like fair value gaps. Like, some people call it fair value gaps, some people call it order blocks, same shit, right? Again, that's another example where people call same things different names. They mean they're basically the same thing. It just depends on their importance, right? So, yeah, guys, don't overcomplicate trading. Call things as whatever makes more sense to you. I would like to just call them structure. I don't even care to call them support and resistance or supply and demand or order blocks or fair value gaps. I just call it structure for the most part, or gaps or imbalances. It just makes sense that way. Okay, so there's a possible entry right here for MPSV2 that's starting to set up. It's not going to be one that I'm going to take or I plan on taking at all because, I mean, the obvious reasons here, as you guys can see. So we have a lower high in between. Because there's a lower high in between the entry and there's sessions down here and there's a lower low down here, it's not going to be one that I'd be looking to take, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and update the structure here because there's new structure. And you guys can see this is the range right now. Price is kind of just ranging back and forth between this area. Nothing wrong with it. That's just kind of what's going on at the moment. Um, yeah, I mean, there's just nothing going on here. Let me go to the 40/20. Let me see if any of these entries actually came up. So 40/20, there was one at 647, which came up over here. I believe there was flickering momentum though, or no, there wasn't. So 647, actually, no, there was flickering momentum around there, it looks like. Yeah, kind of a bit of a spike around. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I'm just gonna count this right here as a loss. I don't know if there's a flickering momentum there, but I don't think there was. Not at 647. There's one at 648, which happened right after it. But again, I don't know if this was lagging because like we talked about before, this isn't always the case. So 656 is gonna be the next 40/20 entry. The next 60/30 entry is gonna be at 712. I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. All right, cool. So let's go back to what I was looking at over here. Let's see, time skips at first time trading. Wish me luck. I've been studying. Yeah, no, we'll see. I mean, this is probably not the best day for you. Your first time trading time skip because of the choppiness, and you guys can see how crazy it's moving. But yeah, I mean, it's you never know until you know. So we'll see. All right, let me scroll down and see if I missed anything here. Yeah, PC said, time to upgrade your PC, Sean. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Message to the new Macs are so much more powerful. Yeah, I agree. See, the only thing that I don't like about the new Macs is that, well, I don't know if there's a workaround for it, but what I've seen from the new Macs is that you can only connect one external screen to it. I don't know how true that is. We had a couple of people here who actually bought the new Macs and they had that problem. I don't know if it's with certain Macs or like whatever it may be. I don't know if I have to get like a Mac Studio or anything like that. Yeah, let's see. I think, well, this one's pretty old, so I've bought this Mac. I mean, the configuration's still pretty good, but yeah, this is kind of old, of course. It's 3 gigahertz, 10 core Intel Xenon. I mean, at the time, I bought this in 2017. So this is almost a 10-year-old PC or Mac. It's crazy. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, when I bought this, I think I bought this for like it was like 12,000, I think, for this computer. Just the screen. But it was a good one. I mean, this thing's lasted me more than 10 years, so I got my money's worth with it, of course. I'm like debating if I want to switch between Mac to PC, but I don't know. For some reason, I just don't like PCs. I'm too much in the Apple ecosystem where I just want to get another Mac. But I know that PC is obviously the better route because that like all the platforms we use, they work better on PC. But we'll see. I'll have to look into it. But yes, then I think this year for sure I've got to get a new Mac or anything or something to improve. Or I just have to remember to reset my computer. I think that's what might be the case. My opinion. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. So the Mac Studio, yeah. So that's what Siege mentioned. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, the Mac Studio, and I'll just buy the I already have like three screens, so what's another screen? Yeah, I might end up getting that, the Mac Studio, because it's like that one is like the small one. I was thinking about getting the big one, but this one I think it does the job. It's actually not that bad. 3,000, that's way cheaper than what I paid for this one. Or 4,000 actually. I probably upgrade it to the M3 chip, so it'd probably be okay, 6,000. I probably upgrade the memory as well. Yeah, and it adds up. So for this one, this one's totally specced out. So I have I had the highest chip, I had the highest memory, the highest storage. So that's why it added up to like, 12, 15K. But you think about it, you break it down. I've had this Mac for about almost 10 years. So it's made its money's worth for sure. All right, guys, back to the charts. I know we're kind of going off topic a little bit here, but let's see what's going on. So we got nothing here right now. Let me go and take a look at the algo history or the algo trades. There's nothing for the 60/30 until 7/12. I'm looking over here at the 40/20. So there's one at 656, which isn't coming up yet. I'm looking for the MPSV2s, but there's obviously nothing here yet either. Price is just respecting the range. So we got the upper range right here, which should be resistance for our upper structure. We have the lower low right here, which would be support. The lower structure price is pretty much just going back and forth between this area, um, which, is perfectly fine. This is just how the market's kind of moving right now. We don't have any entries coming up anytime soon. So, well, technically we have an MPSV2 for a buy coming up shortly, but we do have a flickering momentum over here. So this is going to be a flickering momentum trade. I don't know if this is going to be one that would be taken or identified, but I'm going to go ahead and just put FM under the notes. I don't think it's going to be a trade to be taken. But anyways, the 656, it's a listed entry, not a target entry. It has a 9% max equity drawdown, 50% weighted average, actually 50% across the board for weighted overall buy and sell. Profit factor is 1.9, and the direction is going to be for a buy. So we might get the bounce right here. Might get a bounce right here off the structure, and then it might just push back up. And if you look below here, there's a lot of structure here. So we have the New York low, we have the Asia low, we have the support level, um, the demand level, if that's what you want to call it or consider it. A lot of stuff right there showing up. So, I mean, there may be a bounce around this area, but like I said, this is a flickering momentum. So I wouldn't really take that trade. It'd just be a no entry. All right. Well, I'm going to keep myself dialed in right now. Obviously, I'm looking for that MP. Whatever is going to come first. I'm looking for one entry for today. It's either going to be an algo entry or it's going to be an MPS V2. I don't care which one it is. Whatever comes up, if it's good, I'll take it. If not, then I'm going to hold off on it. Hey, Sam. Morning. All right. So we are going to hang around and wait for what else we got. Yeah, no, Masij, I agree with you. I just saw your messages with the chip for Mac. Yeah, because I have the new. So I already have a laptop. I might not even need to buy anything right now. It's just I would just have to reconfigure my setup because I do have a MacBook Pro that has the M chip, like the one that just came out last year. For some reason, well, not for some reason, but every year or every couple of years, whenever a new chip comes out for the MacBook, I buy the new MacBook. So I have a brand new MacBook and it has the M chip. It's really fast. So like when I was traveling last month and you guys saw that the video quality, the audio, everything was better, right? That was because it was on my MacBook with the M chip. So yes, I know I agree. The Intel chips are really old compared to the M chips. The M chips, they're so much faster, they're more efficient, everything is just more crisp. So if anything, I might just maybe transfer over or port over to that laptop for a little bit. And then, because the thing is, I don't want to buy a new Mac desktop and then I regret it because I'm like, oh well, crap, I need to get a PC for something, like for the hedge fund stuff. So I don't know. I'll see. I got to think about it. The desktop is like more of a bigger decision versus besides like just getting a laptop because I have the yeah, my laptop is really strong. I just don't like using it because the screen's so small. But if I have these external screens, it's not really a big deal. Anyways, guys, so like I just said, there's no entries here yet. There's the one more entry coming up for the 40/20 at 701. These are the unicorn entries. So if you guys want to take these are probably going to be pretty good. Um, I mean, again, if we have this flickering momentum which keeps coming up, maybe not. But if we do, then maybe yes. I mean, who knows? We'll kind of see where this ends up going. Let's see. Cams is asking. Or Sam, the other Sam, Cam's, aka Sam. Would the chatbot work well in this current market condition? Um, it would work well right here, but it wouldn't work well right now, Cam. So like when it's really choppy, the chatbot would work perfect. Not when it's ranging. So when it's ranging super heavily like this, that's a no. But if it's choppy and just going back and forth within a range, like a small range, then yes. We could technically spread out the range. So like, I mean, yeah, the chatbot could technically work in this market, but we'd have to put the levels a little bit farther out, right? So instead of having the levels at like 5 or whatever, we'll have them at like 10 or 20 or 15 or whatever maybe to like um to basically, withstand the movement. So yes, the answer is yes and no. It's with the current settings or the default like small grids, probably not. But if you were to widen out the grids, then yes, it would probably work out pretty well. Verizon shop, call it fit. I don't know where the orders are being placed. Solange said, "You Americans love your Mac. Laugh my ass off. Let go and join the PC side." Yeah, no, I mean my laptop that I use to execute my trades for Ninja Trader, it's a really good laptop. It's a gaming laptop, so it's like it's really good. I just don't like the infrastructure on a PC. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm not used to it. I remember when I first switched over to Mac, I was so against Mac, but then I was like, well, I have an iPhone. The problem with us in America is that the Apple ecosystem is so it's so intertwined, right? Like I have an Apple Watch, I have an iPhone, I have Apple CarPlay in my car. I have like so many things that are connected to Apple. That's why I keep sticking to like Mac stuff because everything is so useful, right? Super useful because everything just kind of crosses over. You could kind of drag and drop stuff. It's different. I think that's the biggest thing. If I wasn't in the Apple's ecosystem, then I would be perfectly fine with going to a PC. But because I'm like using everything Apple, it makes it difficult. Anyways, guys, 701 right here. So we have a possible entry right here if you guys are looking to, and I'm going to look at this as well. So I'm going to be shifting this right now. The zone right here is kind of extended down a little bit. There's going to be a possible MPSV2 setting up here, guys, but it's not going to be one that I'm going to be taking. Reason for that, and here's the 40/20 701 entry. It's currently running right now. So the reason why I'm not taking this as an MPS or just I'll call it MPS. I'm not taking this MPS here because there's a lower low right here, right? This goes against my criteria. If you guys want to take this trade, you guys can take it, but I'm not taking it because obvious reasons. If there's a lower low that's in the way of my target, so if price needs to push past that lower low to reach my target, not taking the trade because what I'm worried about is that we're going to get some sort of reversal around this area. Right? It's a typical pattern that happens. Um, this can act as a new very strong support level. It'll just kind of sit down there, just kind of sit down here, maybe bounce off it or whatever. And from previous experience, it's just not a good setup for me because there's just a lot of what I consider red flags in a sense. But yes, so we do have the entry right here currently running. This is a 701. We also have the 702, which is a no entry because there's no buy signal there. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put this as no entry. So again, like I said, guys, price is currently in this support level right here, like in this structure. So it's not exactly the type of trade that I would take because I don't want to trade within structure, right? I want to trade outside of it. So yeah, I'm not in any positions right now. I'm just following as we go. There's another entry right here at 703. I mean, if anybody's looking to get into these are starting to stack on top of each other. I mean, obviously I wouldn't take these entries here. So I'm just following these as we go. So that one over there obviously didn't play through. Again, like I said, it's doing exactly what I was worried about, right? I said price was here in this lower support area. I was worried it'd bounce off this area right here. That's why I wouldn't really take trades in this area. What I would do is I would take trades if it was outside the area. So if it was down here, okay, great, I'll take those trades. Like I'll trade down here as long as there's no structure or lower lows down here, but there is no like price isn't not down here yet, right? So, I mean, obviously not one that I would take. The 703 right here is coming up. So this is yeah, this is a 703 entry for the 4020. So if you guys have been following my spreadsheet for 4020, you guys will see that it's it's very volatile with the profitability, right? So if you look at the 4020 spreadsheet, and I'll show you guys it later, it's like on Tuesday, last Tuesday it had like a -5R, Wednesday was a -2R, Thursday was a +2R, Friday was a -2R, Monday was a +4R, or Tuesday was a -2R, yesterday was wait, today's Wednesday. The fuck? Sorry, my bad, guys. I thought today was Thursday for some reason. I got my dates mixed up. Okay, today's Wednesday. I just realized that today is it not Thursday? Um, Okay, yeah, no. Anyways, it doesn't make a big deal what day it is. I thought today was Thursday. But anyways, like I was saying, the 4020 is like really tricky when it comes down to consistency, right? You're gonna have days where there's gonna be a lot of wins, there's gonna be days where there's a lot of losses. So it's I don't really like using the 4020 unless it's for an MPSV2. That's the only thing I would use it for, and I would only use it if it meets my criteria, of course. Right? My criteria for no red flags, like no lower lows, no high lows in between. Um, Candle's not too big. There's a lot of criteria that I look at to make the trade just perfect. So we'll keep following, but again, there's no entries for me right now so far. 703 was the most recent one that it's currently running right now, so I'll kind of just watch that. 712 is going to be the next one. The 712 one is going to line up with the 6030. They're both for buys, I believe. Yeah. So the 712 one could be a good one for buy if we get a buy signal from now until then. You guys can see right here, there's a flickering momentum for buy. It's been coming up for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or no, 3. So there's been 3 buy momentums come up so far. So you can see the buyers are trying to get back in control here. They haven't gotten control yet, but they are climbing up as we speak. So again, right here, another example of why I don't take any sells here right now, because see how price is pushing out of the structure? That's pretty much what I was telling you guys before. That's why I don't take certain trades when we have structure there, right? Because it's obviously a red flag. Price is likely to bounce out of it. You don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the market. Like this could eventually come down further, but like I said, I'm not going to take it until it breaks past here. Like I need it, it needs to be down here, or else I'm not messing with it. As much as I try to move away from technical analysis and price action, this is where most of my knowledge is, and this is where I'm good at. So like, yeah, I'm gonna still use technical analysis and my knowledge even when I'm taking certain trades like, the algo entries, specifically the lower time frame ones, but or the lower target ones. 60/30, we could probably ignore it a little bit, but for the 40/20, it's really important because you don't want to get caught in market chop. The reason why I could identify market chop here is because you can see these high lows are they're too close, right? Like typically, if you're looking for price to move directional, like right now, it looks like it's directional, right? But look at how many high lows are in between here. You see all these high lows? These high lows already tell me that, okay, market's in chop right now, so don't really mess with anything at the moment. Wait for price to get out of this area, right? So it might look like price is trending down, but it's actually just chopping up and down, creating new high lows. That's why I'm not taking any trades around this area is because I already know that it's going to chop up. Like right now, for example, again, same situation, right? Price is chopping up right here. We have a a lower low right there, and a lower high right there, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it just chops up around this area. See, here's the thing. If we had, like, say, for example, we'll use this as a starting point, right? Just this one. If we have this and it does this, then okay, great, because we have a low, we have a high, low, high, low, high, low, right? It's moving directional to the downside. The problem with this here is we have a high, low, and then you have a high and a low, and if if the following high lows are engulfed by the previous high lows, that already tells you there's a chop, right? So like, let me just show you guys, for example, here. So if you guys can see right here, we have a high right here, and we have a low right here, right? If you have a high and low like this, and then you have high lows in between it, that shows you that price is in chop, right? So for example, here we have a low here and we have a high here. If price ends up creating new high lows within this box, like between these two areas, this is going to tell you that price is in chop, or if it's like slightly above it right here. There's either one of two things that are going to happen. It's either going to chop within this area and create more high lows in between, or it's going to break above and it's going to be a reversal, right? This is going to be okay, a high low to the upside. Or opposite of that, it could be starting from here and then come down this way. So these are okay. Like, let me just show you guys again real quick. I'm okay with price doing this or price doing this, right? It doesn't matter if it goes up or down. We just want it to be directional because all of our strategies are based off trend and all our strategies are based off momentum. What you don't want to see is you don't want price to be creating a big range and then getting chopped up within the range because that's usually what happens. This is why the chop bot was created because the chop bot is good in these types of market conditions, right? This is how chop bot thrives. It thrives in a choppy market. So like in a situation like this, I mean, you can run the chop bot and then you just kind of like let it be and then you just kind of get your profits until it moves directional. And then you just kind of swap it out, right? You'll go from directional to chop, from directional to chop, etc. But again, there's nothing here right now so far. I mean, obviously I'm looking to get into something. The entry here at 703, let me just review it real quick again. 703 was for a sell, and that was a loss. Okay. I want to document the losses. I want to document all the trades, losses and wins, because this is going to tell me whether, whether I should shift back to 40/20. Right now, it's not looking like the 40/20 is going to be a good option. All right, we have a flickering momentum right here. So unfortunately, that 712 that we were talking about, it's going to be a no entry. And I was really hoping we'd get some directional moves, but it's just not the case here. Thing is, we did have a little bit of direct. No, we didn't. As much as I want to say we had some direction here, we didn't. Yeah, because it's been choppy this whole time, right? Price pushed up and then it chopped. And then if you want to call this direction to the downside, I don't see it as direction because it's been chopping around here too. Huge breakout candle right there. Yeah, huge breakout candle right there. So this would have been the entry right there if price would have, worked out for the 712, but Obviously nothing there. But yeah, this would be the 712 entry currently running. So I'm not in this position right here, but this is the 712 which came up. This is the 4020. Looks like it's probably going to hit, but like I said, very tricky because of the flickering momentum that was coming up. I mean, th this green candle came out of nowhere, right? We had the flickering momentum that was on that 711 candle, and it went from coming down to shooting straight up. Thanks, Nikki. I just saw your message. I didn't really see it until now, but looks like the Fed is speaking today. Yeah. So you got Fed Moran speaking right now. That's probably what's causing these spikes. So you can see right here that 712 entry just hit. That was actually a pretty good entry. The ones that line up, so like for example, when they line up with the 60/30 and the 40/20, they're usually going to be considered good entries. I think that's going to be my criteria. Obviously, when I'm looking to take entries, that's what we did in the so that's what we did in the beginning. You know, in October when we used to take a lot of those trades, we would actually just align them with 40/20 and 60/30. If they both aligned, then those would be like our go-to entries, right? And here I'll share the list with you guys because I mean there's obviously nothing here right now. I don't think I'm gonna get an MPSV2 entry today, guys. I mean, so again, right here we had another setup, but it was right at the red flags, obviously, so I wouldn't have taken it. I just realized there was an MPSV2 which came up right here. There was a buy signal, lower low, price pushed up. The entry would have happened on this green candle right there. It's curious to see. I don't think it would have worked out. It might have gotten stopped out. Yeah, it would have stopped out on this following candle because we had the sessions right there. So there was an MPSV2 which came up right here, guys. But again, like I said prior, this here, it's a red flag for a reason, right? I don't take trades at the sessions or at structure or anything like that for obvious reasons. And you can see right here, price pushed up and it came down for a spike before it shot right through. So this is an example of like of why the red flags make sense and why I follow them. You know, it might seem like I'm purposely avoiding trades, but I'm avoiding them for good reason, right? Because I don't want to get caught in like this kind of spike or chop that could stop me out, especially when the ATR is 44. I just realized the ATR is still really high. It's 715 right now. Usually the ATR is not high at this time, but right now it's super, super high. Like this late into the session. Well, it's not that late, but it is. It's a little later than usual. So right here, this is going to be the next entry. It's going to be at 715 for a buy. If you guys want to take this, this is going to be a listed, not a target entry, but it's going to be a listed entry for the 60/30. And this right here actually aligns with both the 630 and the 40/20. The 60/30 hit on this one. It did. So 60 points did hit on this one right here. But this isn't a, so if there are two target entries that line up with each other, that's going to be one that I would likely look into. But these here, it was just it was listed for 40, for 60/30, for the 40/20 was a target. No flickering momentums on that one either, but it did reject off the sessions right there. Again, like I said before, you know, there's an entry here for a buy, but it's tricky because in order for you to reach your target, you got to go past the sessions, which you already bounced off of. So I'm just going to document this. I obviously didn't take this trade, but I'm going to document it because we want to know how they're working, even if they're not trades that we're taking. Let me see, 714 was for a buy. Actually, so my bad, guys. I'm looking over here at that 715 entry. It was for a sell, not for for a buy. So that's actually it's actually no entry. All right, I'll share the spreadsheet with you guys in a second. I'm just following through. There's a 720 entry which is coming up. That's another. Okay, so this one is like this one's actually a good one that I would possibly take if it comes up properly. Um, as long as we don't get well, I mean, we already got a flickering momentum right here, which is kind of an issue, but I'll follow it and we'll kind of see. So the 720 entry right here, this is a target entry for both 60/30 and 40/20. The only problem here that I'm like really seeing is that there's a lot of structure right here. So price comes, if we're looking for a sell here, you have to get past the sessions. And then on top of that, you still have to get past the support level right here or the demand or whatever structure you guys want to call it. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of an issue. I mean, I'll follow it. I'll tell you guys if I'm probably not gonna take it though, because I do see a pending momentum probably coming up pretty soon. And it's gonna invalidate. It's just gonna be a flickering momentum trade. I can see the momentum here pushing up. It just depends if it starts to control, like, if the buyers start to push price up, then we're gonna get a pending momentum there, and I could see it's building up right now. See this big momentum candle? Right there. There we go. So you guys can see I called it before it happened, right? So even though this signal didn't come up yet, I already knew it was going to come up. So unfortunately, this 4720 entry is going to be a flickering momentum, no entry. The reason why it's a flickering momentum, no entry is because right now it's currently 719. Like I said, if we get a flickering momentum 3 minutes before the entry, then it's just not going to be a trade that I decide to take, right? Because that's my criteria. So like I said, you want to be careful when these flickering momentums come up because these flickering momentums are going to indicate that price is trying to reverse, right? Because this entry right here at 720 is for a sell, but because we have a buy momentum here, which came up at 719, this is indicating that, okay, if you take the sell here, you need to take caution because price can easily just spike up out of you and just destroy your trade, right? You can see the big wick right there too. There's a lot of confluences here. The buyers are trying to get in control. They're not in control right now, but they are trying to. So another I'm gonna look for the MPSV too though. But another day here with another day with a lot of no entries. The market is a lot choppier than I was expecting for the start of the year. I mean, you guys can see here how obvious the chop is, right? Can't deny the chop here. Let's draw structure again right here. There is an MPS that's setting up right now, though. So we have a sell signal, prices are traced up. We have a higher high. If this here closes below this area right here, this is going to be an MPS entry. The main problem here, which is why I'm not going to take it, is because we have the sessions right here and we have structure below for a lower low, right? So if you guys want to take this trade, I mean, you guys can take it at your own risk, but I'm obviously not going to take it because I do have a trading plan that I follow. And if it doesn't meet my criteria, which it doesn't here, it's not going to be one that I decide to take. So price would have to break and close past this area right here. Let's try it. So basically it has to break and close below this blue line. That's going to be the main thing here to look for. 721 for a buy. This is going to be a no entry. 736. Okay, so let me just put the list of trades up here real quick so that you guys can see. I'm like surprised that we've been this. Well, I mean, see the chop what was fine. I think the thing that kind of throws me off the most is look at all these pending momentums which came up. This just shows how inconsistent the market is, right? Because usually, like, I mean, even if it's choppy, you're not going to get momentum shifts like that often. But there's a lot of pending momentum here. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So basically 22 times today, or there's more actually, is about like maybe 30. So basically 31-minute candles, right? Market's been open for less than an hour. So here, let me show you. So like basically market's been open for about 30, let's see. My math sucks, so let's just do the math real quick. 30 plus 22. So market's been open for 52 minutes. Out of 30 of those candles, so 30 of the candles here, because we have so many momentums, those have been indecisive candles. So market's only been open for 52 minutes, and you minus that by 30. I mean, there's only been 22 minutes where market has been actually moving somewhat directional, like whether it's to the downside or whether it's to the upside. Majority of the time, market's been in chop. So if you guys do the math, I mean, that shows you that, okay, this is like not really the best type of market conditions to be trading in, because if it's choppy more than it is directional, then you're going to get chopped out, right? It doesn't matter if you take or buy or a sell. I mean, if you want to trade mean reversion and trade bounces off the structure, you can do that. But the odds are you're probably going to get stopped out there too, right? So for example, like down here, we had the structure that was drawn. You could have taken the buy from here, but if you took the buy here, you probably would have gotten stopped out before it pushed up. So, so I mean, I guess we'll see. So this is the MPS, guys. It's starting to set up. Like I said, if this candle breaks and closes past this blue line right here, this is an MPS entry. But because there's sessions here and I mean, there's a bunch of reasons not to take the trade. I mean, obviously that's why I wouldn't take it. A lot of fake outs, manipulation can happen around these points. That's why it's one of my red flags. This is one of my biggest red flags, right? The sessions. Like the structure was kind of new in a sense where I just kind of included that. But the sessions right here, this is like one of the biggest manipulated areas like within the trading market for whatever the day is. You can see right there. See that big spike right there? Price got it right here past the New York low, and see how it spiked up? This can really go either way. It can spike up or it can spike down. Or it can do both. It can spike up and spike down. So right there, again, here's another clear example of why my red flags are important and why they make sense, right? This is why I don't trade at the sessions, because look what happened. If I would have taken that trade right there, I would have been screwed. Um, Also, this candle right here, this red candle is a little big. Anyways, again, right there, another reason why I wouldn't take a trade at that point. I was going to show you guys the trades for the day. Okay, so here are the trades for the 60/30. The 643 was a no entry. This was a flickering momentum, 712 no entry. This at 715, this is a listed entry, but not a target entry. This one lost. And this one at 720, this was a flickering momentum, no entry. So the reason why this right here wasn't a trade was because we had a flickering momentum at 719. Like I said, if we would have taken that trade right there, let me just see what it would have looked like. Is it still running or is it done? Let's see. So this trade's still technically running right now. Um, yeah. So this 720 trade is technically running. I mean, if you guys wanted to take it, like I said, it's a flickering momentum, so it's not one that I would have taken. It just wouldn't be criteria. But it's still technically running. So I mean, we could follow it. This trade might eventually hit. Let's see what the criteria is looking like for it, or what the statistics are looking like for it. I just want to see how long this trade usually takes to hit, because if it hasn't reached that point yet, it's probably maybe likely to still come down. So I just updated it right here. So this is the trade at 720. This one has a 6% max equity drawdown. It has a probability of 55% winning either direction. You can see right there. Profit factor is 2.44, so that's good. That means that for every loss, it has 2.4 wins. So now what I'm curious about is how long this trade takes to hit. So right here, this trade will usually run for about 14 minutes, average bars per trade. For winning trades, it lasts about 11 minutes, and for losing trades, it lasts about 18 minutes. So right now, this trade has been running for It's been running for 8 minutes right now. So with that being the case, this is normal for this specific trade, right? So like I said, this trade runs for about 14 minutes in total, usually for both buys and sells. For wins, it typically hits within 11 minutes. So if it doesn't hit within the 11-minute mark, probably time to maybe move your stop loss and profit, maybe pull for profit. If it goes any longer, closer to 18 minutes, it usually loses. So this is why these numbers here are important and why they make sense because this tells you, okay, hey, I should probably get out of this position if it keeps running for too long. And you can see right there, it's trying to push down a target. It's almost exactly on point. Yep. It's almost exactly on point right there. It's going to hit full TP. What a move. It's crazy how the algo identified this, right? It already knew it was going to hit within 11 minutes. Look at how many minutes right here, 11 minutes. And look how many average bars per winning trade, 11 minutes. That's crazy, right? How accurate it is. I would have taken this trade, but like I said, it was a flickering momentum at 719. So I mean, unfortunately, it just didn't meet my criteria. I wish I would have taken it. This is going to be something that I maybe look at in the future is, well, not really look at in the future. We already looked at this in the past, like in October. But basically, if the 60-20 aligns with the 40-20, or the 60-30 aligns with the 40-20, and let me put the lineup over here. So if you get two entries that line up at the same exact time, so check this out. This is a 40-20 and this is a 60-30, right? See how we had the 720 right here and the 720 right here? These are both for sells. They both have high probability. This was 55% probability of winning, and on the 40-20 it was a 66% probability. The profit factor is 3.5, so higher obviously on the 40-20, but it was still very high right here on the uh, 60-30. So I mean, I'm always kind of shifting around with the factors that I'm looking at for my entries. Obviously, being able to list these here are going to be the main factor, but if they line up with each other, like I said right here, 720, 720, in a situation like that, and they're both target entries, they're probably going to be a trade that I want to take, right, in a sense. So, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But anyways, this trade right here hit. Either way, it wouldn't have been an entry for me because of the flickering momentum. But for those of you, if you guys did catch that, it actually played through pretty smoothly. So, all right, let's see what we got. Yeah, I just saw your message, Missy. You mentioned, yeah, just plug my MacBook into my monitors. I think I'm probably gonna do that. I have to, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I gotta get, so the problem is I have like two regular monitors. I don't have my like main big one yet. So I'll, I'll have to figure out how to set that up. I don't think I could use my iMac monitor as a normal monitor. Probably just order another main monitor for me. I'll figure it out. But anyways, guys, like I said, I mean, this thing's starting to blast right through. This is really, really solid entry, it looks like, uh, for 720. I really wish this would have played out because I've been trying to get into this, obviously this I'll go and shoot for a while, but the problem is we keep getting these flickering momentums that come up. Um, yeah, it looks like a lot of people here saw it as risky. So Sam over here, or Cam Sam, he mentioned yeah, it was too risky for him as well. He said the 720 could also possibly line up with the MPS V2. Yeah, there's a lot of setups right there that could have lined up. But like you said, it's a double session sandwich right in the middle right here. It's not exactly the time and place where I would have wanted to take it. So I mean, I'm looking at this here. There's a lot of reasons telling me not to take the trade. But the good thing here is that the algo identified it, right? I think that's the key thing. So I know we always try to add a little more criteria, try to switch things out. I think I'm gonna keep listing the trades as is. So like basically if it has a profit factor of about like 2 or whatever it may be, if they align together, see, this is what threw me off with the 715. It's that this one was for a buy and this one was actually for a sell. So like these were actually going opposite, but the 720 was actually pretty spot on. There's also an entry right here for 721, but that's going to be a no entry. The 736 right here, this was for a sell. We're not there yet, but we have a couple more entries coming up right here. This is going to be for a sell, 736 and then 746. But all right, we'll see what we got. All right, let me scroll down real quick. Let's see. Paul said new rule for the breakout. When there are major news postings for the day, skip the breakout. The same thing happened yesterday and today. Yeah, exactly, Paul. So Paul mentioned, I mean, Paul got screwed both ways. Yesterday was CPI. We had the big 200-point candle at pre-market. And then same with today, PPI. Like, so that's what I mentioned earlier, right? Avoid trades that have high impact news events pre-market. So NFP, which is going to be Friday of the first week of the month, CPI, which was yesterday, PPI, which is today, and then FOMC, which is going to be next week. Those are the big four. There's other smaller news events, but for the most part, those are the ones that actually have some big impact on like what happens on open. So, and yes, AC's, that's what Paul's referring to, the 629 entry. Solange got it. He said FOMO was what was ready to risk. Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, Solange said he was expecting the MPS confluence. CJ said he had a pending order at 720 close after he saw the green pivot and caught the trade. Okay, nice. All right, so we'll see here what we got. But yeah, these are the entries right there. So I mean, we're done with the algo entries for the most part. I'm gonna go and just close this so we have space. I'm still looking for an MPS. Like an MPS can still come up, guys. Um, okay, so looking at this so far, the structure has dropped lower, so I'm going to update this as price continues to, obviously move along. Yeah, Masij said the MPS V2 just hit 60 from the TradingView script. It notified me. Nice. And Masij entered it. So guys, with the MPS script that Masij mentioned, it's going to be slightly different. So with the script that he created, if you turn on to avoid trades during sessions, it's going to avoid the trades, but what it's going to do is it's still going to look for a trade after it. So like what happens here is like, say for example, this would have been skipped because of the sessions, right? Because there was another MPS which showed up down here, so price came down, pushed up, sell signal right there. the entry would have actually happened here for the MPS. So just the clarification for those of you who might be confused, like why Masij got into that entry there, it was because if you guys are using the script, it what it does is it looks for a later entry. So it doesn't necessarily skip the trade completely, but what it does is it looks for an entry after. So like for example here, same situation, price kind of went down finally, or I don't know if it did it get in from right here, Masish? What time was your entry? Because I'm still trying to figure out if it's, I think it's right here, right? Yeah. So basically, the way that Message's MPS, and this is good because I never looked at it this way, right? The way that I saw it is that if there's a sessions there, it's just completely skipped. But what Message's script has identified, and he kind of thought of this, like he put this in he misinterpreted what I said, but it actually makes sense. So there was an MPS V2 which was right here, this candle. But this was skipped, right? Because it was at the sessions. So with the script that Message has created, it looks for an entry when the candle breaks away from the sessions and closes past it without being too close to the session. So for example, this one here wouldn't have counted because it's touching the session still, but this one here closed way far away from it. And this right here would be considered an MPS. So yeah, if you guys want to look at it that way, it does work in that sense. Okay, so yeah, so Message got in at the open of the 30. Yes, so it's exactly where I marked it up at. Okay, cool. Yes, Daniel. So Daniel said, I'm guessing it only looks for entry after pivots cross. So it looks for entries after pivots cross, but it also looks for entries away from the sessions. So yeah, it would be this one right here. It's not a reset of so you're not looking for a pullback anymore. You're just looking for more of continuation because the pullback already happened right here and you're just looking for price to get away from the sessions. So like the same situation actually would have happened right here. There's a buy signal and then see how price kind of pushes up right here and then there's sessions. The entry would have actually happened right here at the 712. And I'm kind of curious to see if that there would have hit. That one also would have hit. See, these are MPS V2s that are coming up, but they're still uh, contradicting what well, no, they're not contradicting. It's a different strategy. For me, it runs into my red flags. So like even for this entry right here, this would be an MPS V2, but it would have ran into my red flag right there at the lower low. All right, I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. All right, so let's see. All right, so I'm looking for an MPS V2 to the upside right now. So we have a new low here, which is established. I'm going to go and just adjust this a little bit. So this is going to be adjusted to down here. I'm just adjusting it as we go. So as we have new structure here that's produced, then obviously I'm going to be drawing new and more structure from that point. Clean this up, it's kind of messy. So we have a possible MPS V2 setting up here. or not MPS V2, MPS V3. I'm gonna try to get used to just calling it MPS because we just got a little too many names here. MPS just it's easier. All right, so we have a lower low buy signal, possible retracement. No retracement yet, but possible. See, the thing that I don't like about this here is the volatility is really, really flat. It's kind of what happened yesterday. The volatility started getting really flat, so I was kind of like done looking for entries, but then it ended up still, volatility picked up a little later. So no retracement there yet. Talanji's asking if that's the V3. So it's not tech. I mean, it wouldn't meet the V3 criteria, or I mean, I guess it would. It just kind of depends on how you're looking at it. But yes, I mean, again, I think you should just um well, okay, yeah. I mean, short answer is yes, because we're depends on what criteria you're looking for, right? Because the trend here isn't established. So yeah, this would technically be more of a V3 than it would be a V2, right? Because the trend would have to be established. So since right here we have a higher high, you just ignore the trend. Like for example, if you turn off the pivots, that's what makes a difference, right? The difference between a V2 and a V3 is really the trend. So if you're just looking at this from market structure and price just kind of moving, from structure to structure, then it would be a V3. So yes, short answer to your question is yes. However, if you look at my V3 criteria, there would have been a red flag here because there was a lower low right here. And you know how this trade had to run through here. So see how this trade had to go through this lower low in order for it to hit? That's where it basically would have canceled out as a red flag. So I wouldn't have taken that. So yes, V3 example, but because there was a lower low right here, if you're using my red flags, you just wouldn't take it. That's why I wasn't looking at that trade. But yes, that's basically what it is. Anyways, guys, we had an MPSV, or I'll just call it an MPS over here. But see how there's a higher low now between? That's another one of my criteria where it's considered red flag. And these criteria they're there for a reason, right? So if you look over here, there's a couple of reasons why I don't take certain trades. Um, if there's a higher high, so for example, if there's a higher high which is within this area, that would identify an area where price is likely to reverse from, right? That's one criteria. The other criteria is if it's touching a session, same thing. If price has to push past this area right here, we're worried that price is going to push up and then reverse before it reaches target, right? And then lastly, or not lastly, the other one is if the candle's too big, obviously. So for example, if you were to take a trade here and the candle is like that big, if it retraces down, it's going to stop you out before it pushes up. And then now lastly is if there's a higher high or no high low in between um the entry candle. So for example, right here we have a lower low, we have momentum. The entry would have happened right there, but there's a higher low. This would have been one that would have also been avoided or skipped because it doesn't meet the criteria here. And then on top of that, we have some pending momentum. Not that this is a criteria for this entry, but there is a pending momentum there indicating that the sellers are trying to get into control. So yeah, unfortunately, there's no entry here, guys. I mean, this actually wouldn't even be an entry because in order for it to be an MPS at all, it needs to close above this blue line, right? So either way, even looking at the very basic criteria, it's not even there for an MPS because what you're looking for is for price to push up, retrace, continue up higher, right? This here just retraced, but never continued up higher. So there's actually no MPS there at all. All right, let's see what we got next. But yeah, guys, if you guys want access to the other algo tools that Siege has created, I haven't even really looked at them yet. I mean, I want to look at them, but I just don't have the time or opportunity to look at them right now. Um, but yeah, there is I mean, Siege has created a bunch of different tools here, which are very, very useful. I just have to go and actually play around with them and figure out how everything works. Um, yeah, this is the high-low master. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so yeah, this is actually really, really useful. So you guys can see over here, Messi just created these tools, which are very, very useful because it's one tool, but it has like five strategies there. High-low scalp V2, breakout on open, breakout V3, V3 continuation, high-low momentum pivot scalp. Oh man, CJ is gonna love this one. Where's CJ at? You got an algo for your high-low momentum pivot scalp, CJ. Yeah, so basically, we'll kind of play around with this. I've got to, again, like I said, I have to test this out and figure out how everything works. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. Um, the MPS V2 over here, this is a new one. I'll have to kind of play around with it again as well. I'm just not familiar with it. I haven't been able to really look at it, so I don't have the ability to like really explain stuff yet, but I will eventually. Let's see. Oh, this is the old one. Okay. Which one was it? I mean, there's a whole bunch here. I'll have to kind of play around with it to see. I'll have to just go to like Message's page or something like that. Let's see. Oops. Dang, you upgraded to expert Message? I just like upgraded to expert. What's the difference with expert? I mean, I was gonna upgrade to expert as well, but I didn't feel the need to yet. I just realized that. Um, okay, yeah, there's a couple tools here, so I gotta figure out which one is the one with the MPS. Do you remember what it's called, Message? I have the high-low master on here. I'll just add all of them on my chart. I'll kind of play around with them. It's not coming up. Let me refresh it. Oh, it is. It's just laggy. My Instagram, or no, why did I say Instagram? My trading view is just laggy. Okay, V3. Okay, now I'll leave that off first. I think it's this one, Scout Master or Pivots Master. I'm gonna add all of them on there. Zone Master. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna add all of them on here. I'll kind of take a look at them and I'll figure out what's what. Nice. Yeah, so yeah, Masij has done some pretty amazing work here. As you guys can see, like there's he's put all this stuff together. Like it's one tool, but it has very similar strategies that are lined up with it, well, pivot scalp, momentum scalp, etc. And then we have this over here, which is the SR zone. Cool, cool. And we have this one over, which is the pivots. Okay, this is where it is. It's a pivots master one. Yeah, so I haven't really used this tool yet. I mean, I've been trying to get around to it, but I just don't have time right now. Now let me go back to the chart. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. All right, so there's no MPS V2 here, of course. I'm gonna keep watching this because we might get an MPS V2 here for a sell or an MPS V3, whatever it may be, MPS in general. Might have an MPS. But yeah, guys, thanks to Masish here. He's done some amazing work. He's basically quantified pretty much every strategy, or not every strategy, but a majority of them with I mean, he's pretty much covered everything here that was important, right? Which is it's amazing. It's like it's great because it shows you the profitability. Like damn, this is pretty good. So we have the MPS V2 right here. This is a 1 to 2. So 1 to 2, it has a probability of 54%. That's actually really high. And it's been on a pretty nice win streak right here so far. So for the past couple of days, the MPS V2 has actually been on fire. It kind of depends on like what you'd be applying. Curious to see. Let's do like 90 days. Like really curious because at 54. Okay, no, that happens. Drawdown periods, of course. Let's do a year. Obviously, there just has to be some changes, like a little bit of shift in like the settings to kind of make things a little better. Let's see, Sam said, good job, Sean, with the algo. Seems very profitable. 2 wins, 4 hour. What else do people want? Yeah, exactly. It's sometimes people want more. Surprise, like as surprisingly as it sounds, people want crazy numbers. And I think that comes in hand with there being like just big expectations, right? Okay, so this is the MPS V2 applying it basically from 6:30 to 7:30, just an hour a day. This is the year statistics. These year statistics are actually really good. So you can see over here, kind of had like a rough start from January, or not really that rough, but basically a little rough movement between February. But overall, this is a year of data of the MPS V2. It has a 43%, 43.31% probability of it winning for either way, buys or sells, whatever the direction may be. As a max equity drawdown of 0.71. It has total sample size of 254 trades and a profit factor of 1.3. This is actually really good. Anything above 1.5 is going to be even better, but anything above like a 1.3, I think would be decent, if not okay. Um, yeah, the numbers here are pretty smooth. I mean, it's pretty good. I'll have to play around with this stuff, but you can see here I have like 3 different or 4 different tools here, and I gotta look at, or more of them actually. How many do I have? Yeah, I've got one, two, three, four, 5 different uh algos with like 5 more strategies within them. So I'm gonna play around. This is gonna be fun. I think if for those of you who are here, guys, this is gonna be fun because you can look at all the statistics for all the strategies. Pivot scalp, intraday scalp, swing scalp, MPS V2, SR zones. There's a ton of strategies here. These are all my strategies that I created over the years. So yeah, this like Masish said, he's really proud of his work, and I'm proud of Masish for putting this together. He did this so quickly, right? Within I don't know what you have, Masish, like maybe a couple weeks, maybe just a week or so, to put this all together. Basically, what Masish did is he went through all of my strategies, quantified them, and this gives proof that my strategies have profitability, right? So like you guys can question my strategies as much as you want, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers here show you that we've been applying these strategies for years, and as long as you follow the strategies properly, you should be profitable. The problem is not the strategy. The problem is the person, right? The person is usually not able to follow the strategies consistently or how they're supposed to be applied, and that's why people fail at trading because I don't create strategies that suck, right? All the strategies I created them for a reason, and they've been refined to an extent where they're meant to work, right? I mean, why would I create a strategy and why would I use it if it doesn't work? So like, yeah, I mean, this is pretty incredible that we have like this is a really good profit fact for a whole year of data. That's pretty good. 1.3. Let's go entire history. I'm like really curious now how this is. Yeah, Masish said that's why I have bots auto trading the alerts for me. I don't trade manually anymore. Yeah, because with when it comes down to you as a human being, you're always going to have things that are not going to be on point or that are going to work and stuff like that. So yeah, being able to automate it. Are you using webhooks, Masish? I'm assuming you're using webhooks, right? So guys, just a heads up. So like for these tools here, these are all for testing phases right now. Me and Masij are going to partner with each other to provide this to you guys as automated systems, I guess, in a sense, if that's something that you guys would like, right? Um, so yes, right now, because I see Daniel asking if he can buy it from Masij. Um, Yes, Masij is going to have this available to you guys if you guys want to use them as I guess we can kind of figure out how to automate it in a sense and provide that to you guys. But yes, me and Masij are going to work together to provide this to you guys as an automated strategy so you guys don't mess up, right? I was going to say fuck up, but like the bot's gonna catch that. It's going to start cussing at Masij again in the Discord. Um, all right, there's a setup right here. Yeah, possible buy right here. See, this thing, I'm not going to take this one, guys, because it's too close to 8 o'clock. If you guys want to take it, it's currently running right now. So this trade right here is going to be 40.20 for an MPS V2. I mean, this is probably going to hit. Of course, it'd be the one that I don't take, it hits. But yeah, this is currently running right now. This is an MPS V2. Thanks, Daniel, for the heads up on that. Yeah, Besiege said, I hate that damn bot. So rude. Nothing like Sean. It sounded like me initially, right? So like when you first created that bot, the responses were actually really good. They're really intuitive and they were good. But then eventually it started to act up. It's funny because Besiege created the bot and it was every time Besiege would ask it questions, it would like get pissed off at Besiege for asking dumb questions in a sense. Um, but yeah, so, back to what I was saying, guys, earlier, and good thing that I skipped this trade because look what happened here. It's close to 8 o'clock. It's not a trade that I would be looking to get into. Anyways, so back to the script over here. I'll work with Masij, over time, and we'll try to figure out how to automate this for people and stuff like that. Obviously, it'd be something to take at your own risk, but yeah, me and Masij are going to work together and try to figure out how to package this for you guys so that you guys can use it. This is going to be separate from what I have, right? This side is going to be mainly Masij's things, so like. You'll be paying for this separately through Messi. It's different. It's not going to be Cody Kai trade. It's going to be something different. Well, we're going to have to like partner on something, call it something different because the whole thing with the regulators, right? I think this is like this makes sense for me because I can't operate under Cody Kai trades anymore, anyways. So we're going to have to create a different venture where he'll provide this. Because the thing is, this stuff isn't easy to make, right? Messi put a lot of time and effort into this. So obviously, we're going to make sure that you guys make money off this or you're able to make money off this so that um, it just makes sense to get it, right? But anyways, I'll have to play around with the features here and stuff and kind of figure out what are the best settings. And then once we have the best settings, then I can start to figure this out, how to set things up here and whatnot. Um, yeah, so Masih said also the MPS algo didn't take that one. The trend is not strong. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, because it was against the trend here. So if you're looking for an MPS V2, it wouldn't have met the criteria. But if you're looking at it as an MPS V3, it technically would have lined up, but it was already too close to 8 o'clock, so it's not one of those trades that I'd be looking to get into. I typically don't like to trade this deep into the session. Usually my cutoff is like I think 750 is usually be the hard cutoff for me. But usually around like after 7:30, I try to slow down a bit anyways, because the market slows down in general. So yeah, Messi said Messi gets killed by Discord bot LLC. I know it's if you guys have been on the Discord, it's kind of funny how like the bot reacts to things. Like let me see what it said to in the team chat. If you guys have been looking at the team chat, it's kind of funny with it. Yeah, this is I think like Paul was asking it like, hey, like Keybot or bot, tell me about like this right here. And it was like, are you trying to trade like few food futures or something like that? It's funny if you guys have seen it. So if you guys ever want to ask questions to like the bot, you can just ask it questions here. Like, okay, I'm assuming it's still learning. So let's see, what is the most popular strategy? And then the bot will like respond. But sometimes the bot is unhinged. It'll tell you something like you're doing something dumb or you're asking a dumb question or something like that. But in a bad way, like in a more aggressive way. So here, this is a pretty normal response. It says, I asked the bot, what's the most popular strategy we're applying right now? It says MPS V2, bread and butter right now. Everyone's hammering it during the 7 to 10 a.m. distribution phase when the trend is clean and momentum signals line up. If we're dead in the water with low ATR, then guys flip to CV or V1 reversal. But 90% of the time, it's MPS V2. Yeah, so this is a good response, actually. So if you're curious what we're applying and what works well, you can just ask the bot and it'll tell you. The MPSV2 has been a staple for us for years, and it's still going to be a continued staple for us as we continue to apply it. Yeah, but see, you said it. I deleted it, but it said crazy shit. It told me to go trade broccoli futures. That's what it said. Because Masij was asking it about a news event that happened or like some type of news article, and it told like basically told Masij to like F off and and trade like go trade broccoli futures instead. Um, yeah, it's crazy. It's the bot's crazy. It's smart, but it's sometimes it acts up. It's pretty crazy. See, so Daniel's asking, are you waiting for the third phase of algo to start taking regular algo trades? No, I'm still looking for the algo trades, Daniel. They just haven't came up. So here's the spreadsheet for today. I mean, it's crazy that the trades just haven't came up, right? I think it's actually pretty shocking that we haven't really had entries here. Um, but yeah, these are the list of trades for today. If you can see over here, there's just there's no entry, and then there's a flickering momentum, no entry. So yes, I'm still taking algo entries. It's just they just haven't been coming up. The only algo entry that I saw for this week was on Monday, which I took a loss on that one. I mean, there was wins that followed it, but I'm only documenting the ones that I actually, took, of course, which would be that one because it's like a once a day type entry. But for this whole year, basically from January 2nd up until today, there's only been one actual entry which just came up. Yesterday there was no entries. Today there were no entries. That's why I was trying to shift back to the 40/20, but the 40/20 is actually not consistent right now. So I haven't really been looking at the 40/20 too much. I'm like looking at it over here. It's like not super great in a sense. So yes, I mean, I'm still looking for the algo entries. There's just no algo entries right now. The thing that I'm going to be kind of focusing on moving forward is probably if they line up. Like for example, today we had the 720, which was a 630, and then it also lined up with the 40/20, and that trade actually would have won if it would have came up. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We got to kind of work with it, but we'll see. Yeah, Masih said if you're talking about the deep backtest, Daniel, we ran into some issues. We have phase 3 running, but the full phase 4 API costs are way more than expected, so we're waiting a bit. Yeah. So we're not going to finish it completely right now, Daniel. We're just going to finish phase 3 at the moment. I don't think it's really necessary to go too deep into it. I think that's going to be like on the back burner for now because we already have the data. The stage 3 that we're working on right now is going to allow us to know which assets work better, right? So if we want to trade gold, NQ, crude oil, whatever it may be. Well, I mean, Missy is gonna be running the data to kind of see what we can do with that. But yeah, the we'll kind of see what happens with that. But yeah, I think if we have the stage 3, I think that's going to be enough to really kind of base off what we want to trade for the most part. Because YM is like it's just not it right now, right? I think YM it's about time that we switch to a different asset for the algo. Um, because right now for why like this isn't normal. Like this shouldn't be the case where there's no entries for this long of a period, right? It just doesn't make sense. I'm assuming, well, I'm pretty sure if we were to look at the algo entries for like NQ or gold or something like that, I'm sure there'd be a ton of entries and they'd all hit. We had a crazy month for October, and I'm pretty sure like those crazy months are probably happening, but just on different assets, not YM. So we just have to figure out what assets are those so we can focus on it. Masij said it's actually the longest no trade data in the last 5 years, Sean, according to the data, which is pretty insane. Yeah, I think it's crazy, right? I don't understand why, like, well, I mean, I understand, but I also don't understand, like, why is there no entries? Like, I understand if there's losses and stuff like that, but there's just really no entries. Like, as much as I want to take an entry, it's just the market's been so choppy from January 2nd up until now that there just hasn't been anything there. But I mean, it is what it is. So, all right, guys, it is 8:07. We're pretty deep into the session now. There's no MPS. There's an MPS V2 which is setting up. I think this one actually just came up, but there's no higher high here, so obviously not one I'd take, and it is late in the session. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Let's see. Yeah, iPhone said I think gold and silver is the best. Yeah, so Masij has actually been playing around with gold, and it does look good. So might be gold might be the next step. Because we did trade gold with the algo at some point, and it did make some pretty good profits. So we might shift over to gold. I do like NQ, but NQ is a little too volatile. NQ, gold is a good in between for NQ and YM. Yeah, Daniel said as soon as it's released to public to see, they block you. Yeah, literally. Literally gonna block me. I might have to create another channel to run the algo stuff on it, but you guys will know. It'll probably just share the channel with this one. It'll multi-post or whatever it may be. CJ said, few gold entries we took in October are great. Wonder if CERN's still applying yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think so. And then, yeah, CJ said, is it possible? Is yes is soybean, right? You've been talking about soybean for a while. Yeah, soybean futures. I mean, it looks good because soybean looks like it moves pretty consistent. I mean, there's like blocky candles, but it does move consistently to the upside and to the downside. So it could be a strong possibility. Vincent is asking about API keys. Yes. So Masij will, yeah, Masij said soybeans is better than broccoli. Yeah, don't let the bot hear that. The bot's it's gonna hunt you down, Masij. Trading broccoli futures. Okay, guys. So with that being the case, I think this might be it for the session. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Yeah, Missy said he's knocking on my door. Yeah, he's at your door right now. Rev said, what did you say? What day did you go over MPS V3? I believe I went over it on Monday, Rev. That's when I put the criteria up. So just replay the session from Monday and you should see the criteria. I can send you the criteria over here actually. So I'll post it on here as well. I did post it earlier today, so if you want to just watch this replay too, Rev, um, the requirements will be right there. Here, I'll copy this and I'll post it in the chat. I'll post it in the premium because I'd rather just keep it within us here. I don't want to really share it with the public as much because it's pretty good. And this is basically it's based off Daniel's variation to the MPS V2, which works great. There's less entries, but it works great. It only comes up maybe it comes up like at least twice a week, and it usually nets a profit. I don't think there might have been like out of the previous 3 months, there's maybe 2 weeks where it's been in a loss, but for the most part, it's been in profit. Perfect. But okay, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. I got a shitload. I got a ton of emails to go through it. Like the regulators are asking me to take down the page. They're asking me to take down the YouTube. Then I have StoneX, which is like you got to get all these documents re-signed. I just got so much work to do behind the scenes. So I'll be around. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, um, I'll see you guys here tomorrow. So hopefully we have some algo trades tomorrow that line up. If not, it's fine. I'll be looking for an MPSV2. One of them should be coming up tomorrow. I mean, there should be at least one opportunity. Um, we just gotta wait for that to happen. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys.